Hey friends, I'm here to do a little bit of talking, and then I have a busy day. It's Monday, I work for myself, and I need to finish up the insert on the Indreama album today. I submitted one, well, I thought I had it done, and I showed it to Nick, and, Nick is such a film director. And film directors tend to think very in large terms, and the first thing I had to tell him was, well, Nick, I like your ideas, but I don't have any money for that. So then we got to talking about how we can do it for almost no money. So um, it's a challenge. I already bitched. It's like I thought I had made what I thought was perfect. It is perfect, okay, but that's part of one of the things that's good about working with Nick and also frustrating because he is driven. He's a hard worker and he has a lot of vision. So I have work to do today. Um, and it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing. But a couple things I want to share. Yesterday on Facebook, there was a whole lot of sharing of autographs, and I kind of had to ask people to join in because I swear, I have to make these comments, people. It just really seems like a big part of the way that a lot of people think is just why are we still thinking like that? It seems to me that I had to tell people, okay, come on, show me yours. It's like I'm not showing off. I'm picking up on it that some people perceive it as showing off, boasting, and that's not at the essence of what I'm doing. I am showing it. I'm sharing it. I think it's cool. It's like in a record store. In a record store, they put on display their coolest records. That's what we're here, or that's what I'm here doing, is showing, look at what I got, and do I want to see what you have? Yeah, especially if it's cool. And so thankfully, as a result, there was an onslaught of posts yesterday of people's autographs from different and wonderful stories. I really enjoyed it. As a matter of fact, because I can't watch it all, I'm going to go when I have a chance today and catch up on what I missed. I really enjoy it. Um, just want to really just say, for the sake of anyone that may again not get me, this is not about bragging in a shitty way. It's bragging in a sharing way. You know what I'm saying? Um, I do go through and look at different videos. The videos that keep my interest are, number one, the people that I really feel close to, and then people that I don't know too well. When you show me stuff that interests me, well, you got me, you know. But that's not going to be everyone. So anyway, that was awesome. Um, Cosmic Writer asked me to elaborate on a story. I have a bunch of stories, don't we all? And don't we all like stories? Okay. So about meeting Robin Guthrie, I'll talk about that in a minute. But last night I watched the closing ceremonies of the Olympics, the music part here in America. And I'm wondering what we didn't get to see. Did we see all the musical acts? Wasn't Elton John supposed to perform? Wasn't Kate Bush? We didn't see that. Honestly, I got a really warm feeling from watching it. And one of the things I've always thought about England is that some of the best music in the world comes from England. I need more coffee already. Even the stuff that I'm not really drawn to. Um, it was just, I don't know, there was something heartwarming about it. But I do have one bitch about Ryan Seacrest. He's worthless. You know what I'm saying? He's worthless. It was so obvious to me that the information provided to him was incomplete. He didn't know who many of the artists were. Fucking square. Or is that how to do it? Square ass. Mainstream is just fucking square. That's my problem. Is you're just so square, you don't know shit. So when they did the Brazilian thing, which was fantastic, and out comes Marissa Monte, and I'm saying it's Marissa Monte. He didn't know who she was. You know what? Almost the next day, somebody tells him, "Oh, it's Marissa Monte." Jackass, I am that. that got to me. It's like, man, you know, it's still a white world. You know what I'm saying? It is. It's still a white Western world. Whoever's got the purse strings sets up the narrative. And it was just so slanted towards America in the commentary. I noticed that stuff. And then, you know, the Brazilian thing, the first guy that comes out, the dancer, I don't know who that is, but I'll bet you that's a household name in Brazil. They didn't even try to find out who he was. Then after Marissa Monte, out comes Carlinhos Brown. They never said anything. The guy that was all husky with the glasses and the funky, weird-looking thing, and he comes out. That's Carlinhos Brown, y'all. That shit pissed me off. And then the younger guy, kind of smooth, came out. I don't know who that guy is, but once again, Brazil gave us some of their best. We didn't get to find out because the announcers, Seacrest, his people, they weren't on their game. Motherfuckers. Yeah, seems like I'm always bitching about something, but it's legitimate bitches. You know, this is one world and it's still got a white Western slant. I hate it. Okay. Quick story about, or more about meeting Robin Guthrie. I went down to Lawrence, Kansas with one of my best concert buddy going friends of life, Frank Zacconi. He moved to Spokane. I do miss him. And we get down to Lawrence early because we shop. We're recordaholics. And so we're parked near the club. I think it was the Granada, smoking a bowl. It's a beautiful day, sunny. Who comes walking down the street but Robin Guthrie, you know, playing his day, just walking, you know. So, like I said, I realize, because I've been through it, being this color, you know, and also being my age, of dealing with people, you know, being scared of you or not knowing what to think when they encounter you, you know. A black person, you know, God only knows what they're thinking. So I get my CD out, Victoria Land, which I brought to get signed. And I got it signed right then. And I wave it. I say, hey, Robin. I call him by name. I'm a fan. Just want to say hi. Came over to the car, you know. Hung out with us for at least 10, 15 minutes, you know. You know, it was nice because again, I am not a mind reader, but I am a reader of people. It's by nature. And he relaxed pretty quickly. Once he got past saying that he can't smoke, he's, you know, he loves weed, but he's on tour. And we got past the bubbly bullshit fan talk about, you know, how much we love his music, because we really do. And then we got to just kind of talk, you know. And he was real upfront, you know, that Cocteau Twins was winding down, you know. It was really obvious on stage, to me, the dynamic between he and Liz. He and Liz were history as far as being a couple, and nicey, you know. It was work on stage, and there was even an edge, I thought, to Elizabeth Fraser's performance that night. Kind of like, can we just hurry up and get this over with? I have a audio tape of the show. But he talked about wrapping up with the Cocteaus, and that he was doing production work. And yeah, he talked about, I mean, he just really came off like one of us, you know, like a goofy friend. Matter of fact, a really kind of unsure of himself kind of friend. It's like, I don't even know how I ended up here, you know. It's like, you know, one thing led to another, and here I am. I got a career, you know. Kind of like he was nonplussed about it. Really wonderful guy. A lot of artists that I've met have been really nice. I will share one that wasn't nice, and if he happens to see this, that's just too bad for you. But when I met the Red Hot Chili Peppers on their way up, Anthony Kiedis was a butthead. And I think it's mainly because of his response to me as a person that I resented, which was, of course, he's never seen me before. He's a kid from LA. He's seen it all. He's smart to be suspicious. But I was there with Frank, my buddy, my friend Frank. You know, our vibe is really obvious. We're music nuts. So we're sitting on one side of the backstage room with Hillel Slovak and Flea, and they had just shot up. Yeah. Amazing. I was amazed after what they did on stage that they would go and shoot up, and then so we get back there and I had to wait for a few minutes, you know what I'm saying? As I sit next to Hillel and Flea as they kind of nod out coming on. I've done heroin, so I know. I'm just telling the truth, folks, okay? So here I am sitting next to Flea, right next to me here, and Hillel next to him, and they're just drool. I wait a little bit because, again, I know the routine. I've done heroin with my dad. So I wait for their eyes to start to come around a little bit. And I look up at Flea because we had some good weed. I said, "You guys want to hit it one time?" Because Anthony's sitting across the room, looking at them, looking at us. So now I just had a revelation. I don't know this, but maybe part of his disdain for us was seeing us with Flea and Hillel in their condition. He's sitting across the way, rolling a joint. Some girl, I'm gonna call her a bimbo. Okay, she's probably a fine human, but I mean, it was obvious what she was there for was to give him some pussy and smoke his good weed. You know what I'm saying? We offer Anthony our weed first, and he didn't even have to be such a dick about it. It was just couldn't even not do that. You know what I'm saying? Could have just said no, fucker. I'll forgive you as a human being, but I'm gonna tell the story how it went down. Flea and Hillel came around and we got them stoned, and they were fun. They just perked up. It's like they shook off the hit, and then the weed kicked in, and we just went. Bup, 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 bup. It was almost like they were back on stage. It's like I kept, and even Frank was like, "How do these people do this shit?" You know what I'm saying? Hillel was a gas. Rest in peace, man. And their drummer at the time, he wouldn't have nothing to do with none of us. I had to go out of the backstage area to talk to him because he was stone cold straight. Jack Irons, who ended up playing with Pearl Jam. So I got to meet him before he joined Pearl Jam. He was awesome. But he was also straight about, yawn, all this weed smoking, man. We got business to do, man. Shit. And he was like that. He was like a brother, and he had this big red knit hat on and stuff. And it's like, man, I ain't got time for all that bullshit. And he just enthused about how much he loved the music and how much it was a workout for him. So there's two stories for you. Is it Cosmic Rider? I always forget, guys. I'm sorry. I got a ton of stories. Allen Ginsberg. I met Allen Ginsberg and actually worked with him once. He was a sex freak, man. Both times. It's like, the second time he knew who I was. So no sooner do I sit down, hey, Dereck, and he's got his hand on my leg, rubbing it, and he's rubbing it right up to the crotch, and I'm saying, come on, Al, move his hand away, start to talk about the monks, because we're there, his Dereck, his guru, his Buddhist guru lives in Lincoln, and so he was there for the proceedings, and he's a spiritual man, but that man thinks with his cock, you know what I'm saying? And, any chance there was a lull in the conversation, he was trying to get some black dick. I thought it was funny after a while. It also taught me something, and I honor it. It's like, be real, be what you really are. There's a part of me that would be like Allen Ginsberg if I wasn't aware of how much people get hurt by randy sexism, sexual behavior. Just bumping uglies and getting sex off of people willy-nilly really causes a lot of damage. That's why I'm celibate. I'd love to be having all kinds of sex, but I see the damage. I also feel the damage psychically. I'm just too awake for it, And yeah, I'm calling the majority of the world fools the way you all handle sex. I love it, but I don't want to be hurt anymore by it. I don't want to hurt anybody else by it. That's where it's at, okay? If I talk too much more, it's going to take half the day for this fucking video to upload. Two more things, okay? So I'm going to give Dan Williams, number 17 Orange, a few days to contact me. If he doesn't, the person that messaged me saying he wants it, I may contact you. But because it's the last one, and this is my prerogative, I may ask for more money for it. And if you don't want to pay for it, then it may go to the person that does want to. I'm not being shitty. I'm being honest, okay? It's the last one. Matter of fact, yesterday I had a meeting with the record store owner from Recycled Sounds in Lincoln. He came up to Omaha yesterday to meet me to buy some more Dereck 2 for his store. Okay? It's a little bit of the coffee, but it's also a little bit how I feel inside, which is, you know, I don't have to half-step with this business. This, you know, I go through periods of depression and unsureness, but I'm good at what I do. I don't have to beg people like I thought I did. And so, I don't know what I'm saying. Buy the record. I don't know what I'm saying. It was neat, though. You know, it was neat that he came all the way up from Lincoln to buy more records from me. So they're going, people. They're going.